Next topic is cost of convertibles. Now, this is something interesting and it will require some calculations. Number one, you need to understand what is convertible. We call it convertibles, you call it convertible loan, you call it convertible debt. So the word convertible means that when you issue bonds and then you give the option to convert them to the equity shares. Okay. So you issue some 5 years bond, and these bonds have an option, not an obligation, an option that the holder of the bond, which mean your creditors who purchased your bonds, they will have this option that at the time of redemption, which means upon completion of 3 years or 5 years, whatever is the period, they can come back to you and they can say, redeem the bond, which means take your bond, give me my cash. So they can redeem the bond, or they can come and say, convert them into equity shares, which means I don't need cash. Take your bonds back and convert them into equity shares and give me equity shares, which is actually a very good option for the investors, because investors first they come in at a fixed interest rate of 8%, 7%, whatever. They keep on receiving that 5, 6, 7, 8% interest rate for 5 years, and they observe the business. If they see that the business is doing good and it has good prospects, it is going to grow, so then they say, okay, I want to stay in the business and I want to become the owner of the business. So give me shares. I want to convert these bonds into equity shares, and they become the shareholders. They come in and they sit down. Or if they feel that they have purchased the bonds, but the business is not really doing great, and they say, we don't want to stay in. And when the time will come, they will say, take your bonds and give me my money. I want to redeem. So convertible bonds are actually very favorable from the investors or lenders' point of view. So what happens in case of convertibles? Convertibles start their life as debentures, which mean bonds, but the holder has an option to convert them into equity shares. Option. It is their choice, not our choice. They allow investors to wait and see. They will see the company. If it is doing good, they will convert. If not doing good, they will redeem, take their money and go out. Start with safe, well secured debentures, but debentures have no growth prospects. So therefore, if the company it is doing well, they convert it to equity and enjoy the chance of capital growth. Capital growth means because debentures market price do not grow as such, but shares market prices they grow very much. So they can enjoy the capital growth. Capital growth means when the prices of shares will increase, and the option is very attractive to investors. So coupon rate should be lower than for simple debentures. So what does that mean? It means that there is a bond with no conversion option, and there is another bond by the same company or a similar company with a conversion option. So this bond, a similar bond which does not have conversion option, it is offering 8%. So this bond, which is coming with the conversion option, they probably are offering only 6% coupon, because they are giving you another option which is called conversion. So convertible bonds usually they offer the lower coupon rates as compared to the simple debentures. Okay. Now, how do we do that? The cost of convertible bonds. The cost of convertible bond will be the same. If you remember, we did redeemable debt. And when we did redeemable debt, how did we do that? We calculated the IRR. We calculated the IRR of the cash flows of that bond, and that was the cost of the redeemable debt. The same method will be applied here. Here we will also calculate the IRR of the cash flows of this bond, the same method exactly. But before doing that, we need to calculate one more thing. Before doing that, we need to calculate whether conversion will happen or redemption will take place. That you need to forecast, you need to estimate, you need to predict that at the end of the life, after 5 years, what are investors going to do? Are they going to come to us and say, redeem the bond and give me cash, or they will come in and say, give me equity shares? So, first we have to find out what is going to happen, and then we will apply the same IRR method later on. Okay, so you must try to anticipate whether the convertible holder will convert to equity shares or will go for the cash alternative. Cash alternative means the redemption. So what are they going to do? Redemption or conversion? And you choose larger of that. So you will find out that if they do conversion, how much are they going to get? Or if they convert to equity share, how much are they going to get? For example, there is a bond of 100 and you give them an option that they can come and they can redeem it at 10% premium, which means they can come after 5 years and get $110 in cash. Or maybe they can come in and I will give them 20 equity shares. And let's suppose that the price of each equity share is $6. So it means that your conversion is taking $120. So this is expected. We expect that in 5 years' time, each share will be $6. And I have promised them that for every bond, I will give them 20 shares. And now I predict that in 5 years' time, the market price of each share is going to be $6. So 20 times 6, conversion is going to give them 120, redemption is going to give them 110. Of course, you have to take the larger. Investors are going to take the option which is most favorable. So you say that I anticipate that conversion is going to happen, not redemption. Okay, maybe possibly speaking, if you feel that your each share at the end of 5 years is going to be $5, then your market price of 20 shares will be only $100. In this case, you assume that conversion will not happen, redemption is more favorable. So people are not going to come and say, convert me to shares. They will say, give me 110 and I will walk away. So the first thing is always you need to determine what is going to happen, conversion or redemption. So now we do one question. A company has issued 10% convertible bonds. 10% means coupon rate is $10, is 10%, $10 because $100 is the face value, which are due to be redeemed in 4 years' time at a premium of $5, 5%. So 5% premium. They are currently quoted at $80. Market value is 80. $100 was the nominal, was the face value, and they can be converted to 25 shares in 4 years' time. So you are giving them two options. So it's $100 bond, which has a coupon rate of 10%. 4 years is the time period. You say that after 4 years, you come and you can convert at 5% premium, which means I can give you $105 if you convert, if you redeem. If you do redemption, I'll give you 5% premium, $105. Or I can give you 25 shares. Now, what we need to find out that what will be the price of each share in 4 years' time. This is what we need to find out first. So let's see what is the price now. It says that the share price is currently $4. Currently $4. But how much it will be after 4 years? You say that there is a growth rate of 4% per annum. So share price as of today is $4. But redemption or conversion is going to happen in 4 years' time, and your share price is increasing by 4% per annum. So let's calculate how much will be the share price in 4 years' time. Assume a tax rate of 30%. So calculate the cost of convertible debt. So the first step is we need to find out whether it is conversion or it is redemption. And to calculate conversion redemption, you need to calculate the share price first. So let's first calculate the share price. We say that step one, will conversion or redemption take place? So redemption is 100 into 105%, which is $105. This is if they come and redeem their bonds. Conversion is 25 shares multiplied by the $4 share price as of today, multiplied by 1.04 power 4. So this is the growth factor, okay? Because your share is today 4, and with 4% growth, you have to multiply it with 1.04. Okay, this is how you calculate the growth. 4 multiplied by 1.04, this is the growth because it is 4%. But you multiply it with, you take power 4 because you have to calculate 4 times. So you have two options. You can say 4 multiplied by 1.04 then multiplied by 1.04, then multiplied by 1.04, then multiplied by 1.04, 4 times. Okay. So instead of doing long thing, you can simply say 4 multiplied by 1.04 power 4. It's the same thing. So you find out that redemption is $105, conversion is $117. So of course, what we can see here that the situation is conversion. Therefore, conversion is assumed. So once you assume this conversion, then you have to use the same method of calculating the IRR, which we did earlier in when we were doing redeemable debt, okay? The cost of redeemable debt. Now it is like this. The only thing is that if you remember, we have to take that value beginning cash flows. So what value are we going to take? You are going to take this 117 or 120 or what you are going to do. So if we come back now, this was the same table. If you remember that we said that it is year zero. The market value was important because this bond, its current market value was 80. It was given in the question. We started here. The market value of the bond is given as $80. So this is what your cash outflow should be shown in year zero. So we come back here. You've got in year zero, this is the outflow. Now, because it is a 10% coupon bond, so 10% on $100 bond means $10 is the coupon interest rate. And you multiply it with 70%, which means after tax, you are taking the impact of tax 1 minus T. And then in the last year, we assumed that conversion will happen. And the value of conversion was 117. This is what we calculated here. So that's why we need to calculate whether conversion or redemption. So conversion will happen and the value of conversion is 117. And this 117 is in the last year. So what I do now, I take a 10% factor. Like you remember that for IRR calculation, you need to calculate two NPVs at two discount rates. One NPV should be positive, one NPV should be negative. So if I take a 10% factor, for year zero, the factor is always 1. For year 1 to 4, I took the annuity factor at 10% for 4 years. So if you see your annuity table, at 10% for 4 years, you get this number 3.10, 3.17. And this is not the annuity factor. This is the present value in the fourth year at 10%. So if you see your PV table, present value table, for fourth year at 10%, you will find 0.683. This is your discount factor. You multiply these numbers, you get this here. Your NPV comes out to be positive. This is your NPV at 10%. Now, you know that for the purpose of IRR, you want a second NPV as a negative NPV. So how do I make it negative? It is already positive. I have to discount it with a higher discount rate because when you increase the discount rate from 10% to 20%, then there is a possibility that NPV decreases and it may become negative. Okay. Discount rate goes up, NPV goes down. So my 10% is already positive. So now I do second NPV, second discount factor, I take 20%. So this is in year zero, it is always 1. This is the annuity factor for 4 years at 20%. This is the present value at the fourth year. This is year 4 annuity factor. This is fourth year present value factor. Okay. So 4.482. You multiply this number with this number. This multiply by this multiply by this, and you get this. So now you've got your, again, a second NPV, 5.49. If you remember, while doing redeemable debt, I wrote down the formula for IRR a little while ago. I will write down again. The formula for IRR is A% plus A divided by A minus B multiplied by small b minus a percent. What was a percent small? A small percent was always it was your NPV factor which was giving you the smaller discount rate. This is my A, the smaller discount rate. And this is the NPV at this number. This I will call capital A. B is always the higher discount rate. So I take this one as B, and this is going to be my capital B. And when I start putting values, A%, which means 10%, plus capital A, which is 22.10, divided by A minus B. So when I say A minus B, B itself is minus. It is minus 5.49. So minus into minus makes plus. So it says A minus B. But when you will write down 22.10, 22.10, you have to plus 5.49. Although this was negative, but because the formula says minus, so minus into minus is plus. So this thing I write down, and then I have to say B minus A% multiplied by B minus A%, which means 20 minus 10%. When you will calculate this number or this equation, you will find your answer. This is the formula for IRR. Although I calculated it with you, which I actually did not need to because I have done this thing so many times in past, in previous lectures. But let's see. If you put it here, the same numbers, it is NPV is 22.10. This one was taken A, B, whatever. So this is A, the small percentage plus the NPV plus these two, 20 minus 10, 8, you get 18%. So what is 18% here? 18% is your cost of convertible debt. Cost of convertible debt. It is the same method. Like we said that the redeemable debt we said redeemable debt cost was the IRR of the cash flows. Convertible is also a debt. It is also redeemable. It is also redeemable debt. But the only thing is that it has an option of convertible. When I take bonds with 5 years, it is redeemable debt. So I have to use the same formula for redeemable debt like IRR method. But the only thing is that first I do this IRR thing, I only need to decide whether the conversion will take place or redemption will take place. And that number of conversion and redemption, you will put it down in your workings somewhere here in the end. Because you will begin with always the market value of the debt. That is like before. But here, you don't know conversion or redemption. So you will decide redemption or conversion, and this number you will put here 117 or 105 or whatever. Okay. So this is also done, cost of convertibles.